Coming up, we take a look at the New Hampshire primaries. And later, a University of Iowa assistant nursing professor is conducting research on opioid abuse.
Breaking news out of the Iowa basketball program. More for you in just a few.
Will the sun be coming out to play today? Stay tuned to find out.
All that and more coming up on this Tuesday morning edition of Daily Iowan TV. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Bailey Chihan, but I'm going to toss it over to Dallas Jones in sports with big news out of the Iowa basketball program.
Thanks, Bailey. Iowa basketball player Cordell Pemsel was arrested early Monday morning for driving with a revoked license. According to arrest documents, a Johnson County deputy stopped Pemsel near South Riverside Drive and Highway 1 just after 1 a.m. Monday for having a broken taillight. Pemsel allegedly told the deputy he did not have a driver's license from Iowa or any other state, but authorities said they found Pemsel had a revoked license due to a previous OWI in September, which resulted in him being suspended for the first 2 games of the season. Because of this incident, Iowa basketball suspended Pemsel for the game against Indiana on Thursday for violation of the UI Student Code of Conduct. While Pemsel is not a starter, he is a solid player off Iowa's already thin bench, diminishing their options if big players foul out. We'll be back more with our normal show in a couple minutes. Bailey, back to you.
After a rocky caucus event in Iowa last week, Democratic candidates are continuing to move forward and prepare for the first primary election being held in New Hampshire. The Iowa results are getting closer to being finalized, with Mayor Pete Buttigieg as the frontrunner, with Senator Bernie Sanders as a close second. Senator Elizabeth Warren is trailing in third, and Joe Biden coming in at fourth. Looking forward at the New Hampshire primary, Senator Bernie Sanders is the current polling leader. Close behind Senator Sanders is Mayor Pete Buttigieg, with former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren competing for third. The New Hampshire primary polls are open. We will have results tomorrow. As medical professionals in the U.S. face a growing concern surrounding opioid abuse, researchers at the University of Iowa are developing tools to combat the crisis. University of Iowa assistant nursing professor Barbara St. Marie recently conducted research on opioid misuse and substance abuse disorders by talking to patients being treated for chronic pain who have used opioids. She began her research with a survey asking patients about their experience with chronic pain and opioid use, how their substance use disorder started, and what they felt would help reduce their tendency for them to develop an opioid use disorder following the treatment of their pain. St. Marie received funding from the National Institute on Drug Abuse and has been developing a decision support tool for healthcare providers to make sure patients get the right diagnosis and to stratify the risk of somebody developing opioid use disorder. The practices outlined in the support tool are evidence-based ways to look at non-medicine modalities for pain, medicines that are recommended for use based on risk stratification, and what the best way to monitor the patient would be. It was a beautiful morning this morning. I saw a beautiful sunrise. Aisha, what's going on in weather?
Thanks, Bailey. This morning, the temperature is sitting at 25 degrees. You should expect to see some cloud coverage. As the day continues, we may reach a high of 33 degrees and a chilling low of 21 degrees. We should see the sun be coming out to play around 1 o'clock and sticking around for the majority of the afternoon. This evening, temperatures will sit around 27 degrees, which is slightly warmer than what we have been seeing. Tomorrow, we will be seeing temperatures increase to 39 degrees, but temperatures will be dropping down to the upper teens and lower 20s for the majority of the week. Saturday, we will be experiencing some warmer temperatures back in the upper 30s. Stay warm this week and enjoy the few nice days we will be having. Bailey, back to you.
A 55-year-old grandmother has broken the national record in the USA Powerlifting Organization. Linda K. Smith of Iowa City can deadlift over 330 pounds, which is more than 2.5 times her weight. Smith accomplished this feat in Des Moines 2 weeks ago, earning her the title of record holder in her age, weight, and class. Drew Murphy, Smith's coach, believes that she unofficially broke the world record. In order to make it official, Smith will have to lift in the international powerlifting competition someday. Although this accomplishment is already impressive, Smith says she wants to lift more, saying, quote, 3 times my body weight would be 375 pounds, and it's my goal. I want to go to the world competition someday and lift enough that it would take a while for somebody to take the record away from me, end quote. Smith currently works for an Iowa City plumbing firm doing office work. Makerspace has opened in the Robert A. Lee Community Rec Center. It is full of interactive science programs and hands-on exploration. This new program focuses on combining the creative processes of art and the logic of science and to let kids learn outside a traditional school environment. Makerspace promotes STEAM, differing from STEM, because it adds an art component. The space has free events on Tuesday and Saturday for kids to experiment hands-on, as well as STEAM Saturdays, where professionals from outside science organizations will come in. It is a place where kids can try out something out of the ordinary, use their artistic skills to learn science, and dive into experiments at their own pace. Now it's time for the rest of our sports show. Dallas?
Thanks, Bailey. Welcome back. I hope you're ready for some real action because that's all you get when it comes to Hawkeye wrestling. Over the weekend, the Hawkeyes traveled to Michigan for a second time this week, but this time they're in Ann Arbor to take on the Wolverines. Now, we don't have any footage from the most recent duel, but do not worry because it was the same old winning attitude out of the Hawkeyes. Spencer Lee did have a small challenge as his opponent, Jack Medley, took Lee the entire 3 periods for just the second time all season, but Lee managed to win 8-1. And at 174, it was Michael Kemmerer first match since being ranked #1 for the first time in his career. No shakeups, however, as he won by tech fall 21-6. And at heavyweight, Tony Cassiope was handed his first loss of the season when he got beat by Mason Paris. But the Hawks went on to win the duel 27-9. Next up for the Hawks is at home this upcoming Saturday when the Minnesota Golden Gophers come to town. Cassiope is going to have to bounce back fast because he'll have the top-ranked Gable Stevenson in what should be the match of the night. For those who can't get enough of the football, the XFL kicked off their season this week. This is the first season of the revived XFL, and it gained a lot of hype due to the new rule and pace of play changes. With kickoffs, the ball needs to land between the end zone and the 20-yard line for it to be a viable ball, and hopes to reduce the amount of calling a fair catch. This league has all but eliminated kickers with extra point options after touchdowns, including a 2, 5, or 10-yard conversion for 1, 2, or 3 points, respectively. There are a couple former Hawkeyes also involved in the XFL. Former All-American and 1985 Heisman runner-up Chuck Long is the running back coach for the St. Louis Battlehawks. He is joined by other former Hawkeye tight end, Jonathan Hayes, who is the head coach and general manager. This was just the first week of the XFL's 10-game regular season, but if this week's any indication, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's all I have for you today in the sports studio. Be sure to tune in tomorrow to get a preview of the Hawkeye baseball team. I know back here, we're looking really forward to it. Bailey, back to you at the desk.
The Aflac Duck turned 20 years old this weekend. This insurance icon has been waddling his way into our hearts since his first ad appearance in January of 2000. Without the duck adding humor to insurance, we may never have known Flo from Progressive or Mayhem from Allstate. To celebrate the Big 2-0, Aflac is turning its attention to raising money for pediatric cancer charities with a new interactive robot version of the duck, My Special Aflac Duck, to be handed out to kids. The company credits the Aflac Duck for much of its brand awareness and success in sales. Happy birthday to the Aflac Duck. And that's all we have for you today on this Tuesday morning edition of DITV News. Be sure to head over to dailyiowin.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowin for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now. For DITV News, I'm Bailey Chihan. Have a great day, Iowa City.